stuff in game number 1.
Yeah, and Griffin did get a perfect game.
Yes.
Okay.
So there were people saying that technically, because the okay, you can go.
I got it.
I'm frustrated about this too.
Now I agree with you guys that it wasn't actually a perfect game, but Atlas here feels differently. He thinks that because the eye of the Rift Herald wasn't collected, that it was not a capture of the Herald. But we all know the truth, don't we? Don't look at me, Johnny Bravo. Okay. Game number 2.
Such good synergy.
Thank you.
This
I told you I
season.
had you, right?
The last day. Couldn't keep it up for potentially one more game.
It's all right.
If you don't collect the Eye of the Herald, okay, you don't get the Herald, okay? The idea of securing objectives is to secure the objective, okay? And they didn't get the objective. And therefore,
It's not making sense to me.
they didn't get anything then.
You know that image of the person's face with all the numbers moving around? Yeah, it's not.
You can't calculate it?
It's not resonating with me.
It's all right. You'll get it. Just think about it later, okay? Okay? All right.
I'm getting a headache.
We're going to move into game number 2, and I wonder whether Mordekaiser is going to get banned. Because Doran just got an MVP on the champion, and it looked real busted.
It did, against that particular team composition, but also the way that Hanwha Life chose to play against it. And the dream scenarios all did unfold for Griffin's team comp.
Yeah.
Mid-game team fight, in close quarter combat, inside of pretty narrow corridors, which was the blue side jungle. So Renekton is going to be the first ban here by Griffin.
Also a champion, pretty good into Mordekaiser. You trap yourself in a death realm with a crocodile, likely you just get murdered. As the Yumi, of course, is going to be taken away from Lehends. He doesn't get to play that champion anymore. It's in the same barrel as Showmaker's Akali. He's not allowed to play that one anymore either. But Renekton and Skarner were the first couple of bans from Griffin in game number 1. The Corki was the follow-up ban, as Ezreal should be coming out here from Hanwha Life, and we'll see whether they leave the Akali available to be first picked by Griffin, whether or not they have any answers to it. We saw FLICKR decide that the Karma was a good choice, but not necessarily the case, and they're going to ban it second, actually. The Ezreal going to sneak through, potentially, if Hanwha decide on a different third ban. Just looking for the Corki, seeing whether Griffin do want to ban that one as the next choice.
All right, well, Griffin, 3 seconds remaining, and it will be the Corki.
Okay, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Seems to make sense. Of course, Tempt was our premier Corki player for a long time. Certainly did like to pick that one up. Now that he's made his way back into the meta, it's pretty cool that Tempt can dust off some old skills. Him on your screen right there, trying to work out what the final ban is going to be for Hanwha, and it's going to be Tahm Kench. They were really scared of that gentleman with all the coins roaming around the river. As Kai'Sa going to be locked away here for Viper. All right.
Pretty afraid of Thomas.
Ezreal is available, though. I'm surprised that Griffin didn't lock in the Intrepid Explorer himself. Okay.
Let's see how Hanwha are going to respond to the Kai'Sa. Aatrox being hovered right now. You know, I gotta look up this stat really quick.
All right, give me your stats.
You take over for a sec.
All right, Aatrox is locked in, and now Bono is going to consider SoHwan, but hopefully he's going to steer away from it. Because it didn't look so good in game number 1, and Tarzan has been playing much more accelerated League of Legends, so I think it's a little bit more dangerous. The Sylas is available, and a champion that has worked, but instead, Hanwha are going to go towards the Xayah. Kai'Sa Rakan isn't necessarily a fantastic lane these days. Used to be a very popular one, but isn't so much anymore. Okay, we're flexing the Jace once again. Chovy, of course, has been our most recent successful Jace player on the side of Griffin, and Volibear is going to be the decision. Kai'Sa Volibear has been popular quite some time, and the Jace is eventually going to be picked up. I like this.
Okay.
Flex solo lane, and then your bottom lane locked in.
So, Aatrox has 52 wins. Or 53 now, if we include last game.
Yep.
Right? and 59 losses. Okay. SKT is 12 of those wins.
Okay.
Griffin is 10, or now 11. And then FLICKR is 8.
Okay.
But other teams, they're really dragging him through the
mud a little
yeah,
bit.
they're dragging him through the mud. He doesn't tend to win too often when he's played by other teams.
Sandbox probably has a decent win rate with him as well, because Summit has been so good on that champion. But it is Thresh Xayah on the bottom side. sangyoon and Key trying to play pretty aggressively. Key's Thresh actually looked great in their last series, despite the result.
And so far, inside of this draft, Hanwha Life now the ones with more skirmish inside of their draft. They have the Aatrox, they have the Xayah, Thresh for potential playmaking, and pick potential there for Key. Now on the flip side for Griffin, having the Jace, having the Kai'Sa, we'll have to see how they're going to elect to round out their draft and get a better idea of what it is that they're trying to accomplish.
SoHwan banned by Hanwha is quite interesting. Bono not wanting to go towards it again, but Tarzan has been prioritizing more early game junglers. Certainly still a few of them on the table. It's the final ban from Griffin. Still thinking about it. Azir worth a ban here, I think. Going to take away that Azir Aatrox power in a laning phase. Not going to happen, as the Elise is going to be the option. And getting rid of Bono's early game tools is certainly something worth considering. Is there a reason to not just pick Azir?
No. Nunu's being hovered right now.
Yeah, that's Chovy.
You know what? Now I'm angry. I thought we had a real opportunity to connect with our viewers here.
Not gonna happen. Flagged and dragged into the mud, LS. I apologize.
You know what? Rek'Sai is not even that bad in a spot like this.
You get Brawler.
You do get Brawler. But if that Aurelia is ended up locked in, you're gonna need an AP jungler. Is it time for Karthus?
Are we bringing him out? Volibear could flip people into walls of pain. That'd be fun.
Karthus isn't that bad. There is a cheater champion on the side
Evelyn.
of Hanwha Life. Evelyn, Thresh is a little bit awkward.
Singed. No, that's a Lehends hover. Kha'Zix is going to be the choice here for Tarzan. He liked it in their previous series, and he's going to go back to it once again. Very strange. The reason why they beat Jinair with the Kha'Zix in the last game had nothing to do with the Kha'Zix at all.
Yeah, that tends to actually be the case. This is a pretty bad champion in the current meta. It's just not a lot that he can actually do. He was buffed.
Yeah, and he's
recently.
he's very good in the early game if he finds the enemy jungle. Right? That has always been what Kha'Zix is good at.
The thing about this, though, is that Viper will have to take on the mantle of trying to do the magic damage. And everyone on the side of Hanwha Life now are likely to have the Ninja Tabby for their boots.
Which
the
is going to
make is really interesting, though.
Yeah, Tempt is going to go back to an old favorite. One of the champions that he found most success on in his BBQ days. It was, of course, the Azir, the Corki, and the LeBlanc that he was sort of known for. So, going to go back to that once again, but this is your Griffin composition. It reminds me a lot of what Damwon tried to do with their Aurelia Camille comp that just didn't have a lot of damage range. And although the Kai'Sa can get to being an AP threat with the Nationals Tooth build, it takes a while to get those first 3 items that really allow you to do the consistent magic damage and alleviate that problem that you were talking about with too much armor. And it was just a Poppy that was the issue in that game. This time around, there's a lot of champions that can benefit from just being able to stack armor. Bono, of course, a perfect example, and SoHwan could get some early defensive items as well. See how it goes, though. Hanwha Life didn't turn up in game number 1. We'll see whether they can find themselves here in LoL Park in game number 2. It is their relegation lives on the line as we get into it. Hanwha fans feeling the desperation here. As you hear the thunder crack of that Volibear, that was real loud ominous.
That was definitely something to behold. As early on here, it looks like both teams are actually just going to take a very safe spread.
First dragon, have a look at it.
It's an Infernal. You're trying to spice things up for me?
Oh, yeah.
I got it.
I'm trying to get you on the right foot, you know, because we had a bit of a synergy mismatch when you denied the perfect game earlier on.
It wasn't a perfect game.
That bothered me a lot because
okay.
you were wrong. As Tempt going to get some cute little autos here onto Lehends, whose bone plating is now on cooldown.
What shall he ever actually
disaster.
do?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe pause. Tarzan, as you can see, managed to win their last game on the Kazakhs, but it wasn't about him. It was about Griffin being way better.
Now, for those that don't know, why did Bono give that over to Tempt? It has nothing to do with the gold. Tempt gets level 2 now off the first wave.
Yep, bit of extra experience.
And that is what is so big and important.
SoHwan going to get a few autos here onto... Sorry, Doran going to get a few autos onto SoHwan. But Doran with that cheeky ward onto the Krug camp. Bono. What is this?
He sniffs it.
Yeah, ping is actually going to be in, but Doran isn't moving away. No knockup is going to land as Doran gets a bit of damage down. Oh, gets the flash as Doran flashes himself out of the way. Okay, Doran going to survive, but now without flash, it's going to be a rougher time here on the top side.
And so Jarvan ended up doing what he wanted to. Not sure why Doran shot the Shock Blast at that minion. And also, he's got...
Whoa, there's a flash from Viper. First blood on the bottom side. We'll have to see that one again. What the heck? That's just Lehends flashing on people and lighting them on fire.
Yeah, I'm not super certain what that just was.
Huh? We're going to need that one in slow-mo. Please, Jonah Strong, if you could. He's not listening to me. He's listening to the Korean broadcast. But hopefully, it's going to be in slow-mo there towards the bottom side, so we understand truly exactly what just happened there. Having a look, they're going to get what our friend LS likes to call a cheetah recall.
Well, they're trying, but Key is trying to get a freeze off.
He's holding that way for a long time,
Yeah.
and now Key has taken a lot of damage from these caster creeps that have been stacked up. And Lehends can just fling Key away. No summoner spells on the bottom side apart from a heal in the hands of Viper. That means that Bono's going to have some opportunities. Hex flashes over.
Ooh.
No vision.
And this is really good. Sangyoon and Key holding the freeze.
Yep, there's
This
the
is
double
easy.
knock-up. Heal immediately used right there as Lehends trying to get away, but it's a good play. Does get the aftershock, though, and he's going to escape. Moves behind the minions. No hooks possible. And no joy. That was a fantastic double knock-up without the flash necessary from Bono, but just couldn't actually reap the reward. Okay. LS is
You know what? I'm just trying to take in all this goodness right now. Tarzan, he finds himself up now in the CS department. Already got the left-hand side Scuttle Crab. Doran able to immediately...
We're finally seeing it.
Go back up.
Flash raw
That
flinging.
is such a cookie cutter kill.
Yeah. That's,
Oh,
I mean,
man.
that's the danger of the volley bear, right?
They just walked right up to them and killed them.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, they ran. I mean, how do
I
bear?
mean-
What do you call a running bear? Is it like a gallop?
Ooh. You know, that's actually an excellent question. Yeah, that's definitely.
Lumber. You know, I know a lot of bears lumber. You know, lumbering.
I know a
over.
lot of bears can carry you into gold.
Hey.
You know, not you in particular. I know that you're challenged.
I'm challenged.
What?
Yes. It is very.
I'm talking about Tibbers.
All right, that bear. Yeah.
That bear.
That bear carries.
The most important 50 gold in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Some people confuse it with the Nexus.
Yeah, no. Kill the bear, don't kill the Annie. That is the rule these days. He gets super angry if she dies. Like super angry. It's crazy. Oh, I actually ran into an Annie recently, and it's been a while, you know, especially on the Korean server. Like, no one plays the champion.
Yeah.
There are a lot of LS fans on other servers, and of course, like Annie-bot and stuff like that, that you still play the champion elsewhere, but not here. Annie doesn't exist, really. But I played against one, and the damn bear gets so mad.
He's molding.
So mad.
He's
Yeah,
actually
dude.
molding
Yikes.
when you kill Annie. Yeah. It's very strange.
Mm-hmm. Well, Chovy, he's also getting a bit mad here in this mid lane, just dancing around. Not in a CS lead just yet, as he's trying to get what he can as far as damage back on attempt. But look at this. Ionian Fervor, pretty good when it comes to being a passive and giving you some health back. And he is going to equalize that CS margin. How he does this on any melee champion that he plays, he always just seems to be even or ahead in farm against a ranged opponent. I don't understand it.
Well, elsewhere on the map, I would say that Doran has done a pretty good job at recovering after the early game fiasco.
I assume Jace is supposed to be ahead in this matchup, though, against the Aatrox. Am I wrong?
He's able to be slightly ahead. Yeah.
But it's more even than some of the other Jace matchups that can be pretty bad? Okay, good. So, not bad here by Doran. Our MVP of game number 1, transitioning back to the Chovy champion of choice in previous games. It's now going to be Doran on the Jace. Interesting, because it feels like a sword champion for Doran for one of the first times here. They really did show us exactly why Doran was favored over sword in most of Doran's first games, really mixing up the champion pool for the top lane, but Jace is something that Sword has been able to utilize in the past. Bono here in the mid lane has his flashback available.
He is coin flipping like I've never seen before. Oh man. Tarzan is almost level 6. Bono, through absorbing some XP here in mid, does just ping level 5, but look at all of the camps that are up. He needs to make this work.
Oh, that flawless duet is beautiful. As Bono, you can't afford to be taking turret shots like that. Vanguard's Edge comes in. Lehends flashes in. Chovy grabs the kill. Everyone is feared. The double comes down, picks the right LeBlanc. And goodbye jungler, goodbye mid laner, and maybe goodbye Hanwha's prospects at escaping the relegation.
I feel like this should be able to easily be converted into an Infernal Dragon capture. And, you know, Atlas, it's been a pretty... Oh, hold on.
Yep, SoHwan looking for it. Flash comes out from Doran. A lot of respect given to this Aatrox. And you can understand why Griffin are putting on pressure elsewhere on the map. Have we had a perfect series before?
Ooh. No, that's never happened.
I don't think so.
I don't think
my
that's ever happened. No.
Back-to-back perfect games is crazy. I mean, FLICKR, I think it was like 2017 FLICKR were really good at getting game 1 perfect games and then losing series, but they never actually did it multiple games in a row, right? This flawless duet.
This flawless duet was really good. It locked up Bono inside of turret range, but you can see that Tempt and Bono, they had a disconnect, as did Key. And then once Lehends and Tarzan are able to arrive, like you said, they chose the right LeBlanc. Things are... I feel like, you know, I said this earlier tonight in a different series.
Yeah.
I think the game's over.
Well, it's eight and a half minutes into the game.
It is 8.5 minutes.
Let me just go over to the water cooler for a second. I just need to half fill my cup, just for one moment.
All right, play devil's advocate for me.
All right.
How are they going to come back here? Because Jarvan, he ain't farming.
No, he's not. So what he's going to do is he's going to hard camp this top lane. Doran is going to get so tilted that he starts just running it down. SoHwan's going to get very, very strong. As you can see,
they will kill him.
Here's the first knock-up. No perfect series to be available, and Doran is going to be tilted based on that. And then they keep feeding off this, get themselves into a positive situation.
SoHwan's going to carry. He's going to bring it back.
Oh, straight
That's
up.
what you're saying.
Oh, yeah.
All right. I just wanted to make sure that we were on the same page.
If they're going to win, that's how it's going to happen.
Okay. Yep. And I like that.
It's not over yet.
I feel like I can give you a little bit deeper analysis on if they could
certainly
win.
Hope so. That is your job.
that is indeed my job.
Yeah.
If they would win the game, they would actually destroy Griffin's Nexus.
They would, yes.
Yes.
And they would get 50 gold from that. If Tibbers was in the game, they would take Tibbers first, given the fact that that 50
even
gold
if it meant that they
is
lost.
more important. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Glad that we've established this.
Yeah. See, here we are, rebuilding. We're rebuilding. Really good.
Getting our synergy back in line here.
Yeah, really reorganizing the situation. As, yep, no perfect game in game number 2. No perfect series on the line. That being said, if you're talking about how perfect you are, you know, things are still going well here. As that's the flash from Bono. I believe Hex Flash utilized there on the top side, and pretty easy for Hanwha just to make that return visit.
All right, well, coming back into live now, Chovy and Tarzan, they should be able to get this. Rift Herald. That turret plate, I do believe, went down, and so Doran was going to pick that up for himself. None of the Griffin members have bled any turrets. Turret plates, I mean.
Yep, and I have the Herald this time going to be collected.
Yep.
Perfect colors for this Kazakh skin as well. Oh, man. Isn't that cool? Look at the purple.
You know, I actually...
Needs a Lich Bane as well.
I truthfully feel like, I don't know what the name of the Kazakhs is, but any champions that blend in with the map, you should be picking.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Always. You know?
That's
like,
why arcade skins are generally not the greatest choice because they stand
they
out
don't
so
really,
easily.
yeah.
Unless you're playing a tank, in which case you want to be targeted, and therefore like you stand on your AD carry or something like that.
There was a pro player in a different game that he couldn't see the color orange.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
In one of the RTS games, and so if you would play against him, you would choose orange.
Was it Warcraft? Because that was a game where you could choose your color, right? Wasn't it? I mean, StarCraft you could as well.
Yeah, StarCraft.
All right, Doran losing that trade pretty handily against SoHwan. This has been the lane that Hanwha's tried to play through. So Doran isn't behind, then something's going very wrong, and currently being behind 9 CS isn't a huge deal. Kazakhs turns up towards the bottom side, unable to actually find anything though, building towards his first serrated Dirk, which should be that Duskblade of Drakthar. Not able to actually complete it just yet, but Warrior Chant is done. And if Tarzan finds Bono in his jungle, how quickly does the Kazakhs kill the J4?
Well, with the element of surprise, Jarvan always dies.
Uh-huh.
But if Kazakhs has to use the leap to get onto the Jarvan can still live.
That's true.
So.
Flag and drag able to create distance, yep.
We'll have to see as Bono, he's down here in bottom. He almost has half of the CS of the Kazakhs.
Yeah. Thankfully, there are catch-up mechanics in the current jungle. And,
yeah, rubber banding.
Yeah, the rubber banding's working out relatively well here for Bono.
Oh, man.
And Tarzan moves down. If Viper opens this one up with the Killer Instinct, that is scary. As Chovy's going to find Tempt. Remember, the first Infernal did go over to Griffin. Second one is now live, as Bono has been secret agent down here for so long.
I feel like sangyoon and Key, they were doing such a terrible job. They were pushing the wave as Bono's waiting in the brush, but there's no way that you want to dive underneath the turret.
All right, Tarzan going to turn up here as Chovy dives in onto SoHwan. Tarzan has found him, maybe isolated there.
Oh, Chovy's dead.
Cataclysm comes down. Tarzan still trying to escape, does have the ultimate, so he's pretty sneaky here. Shelly gets a heck of a lot of work done in the meantime, but that is a great trade back here for Hanwha and might even equal this Infernal Drake.
Well, don't get too excited yet there, Atlas, as Jace, meanwhile, up in top lane, getting quite a few turret plates. He should be able to... Really?
Someone just walk up there? Yeah, he did. It's fine.
No, but they didn't even attempt to contest the Infernal.
Yeah.
I'm really sad right now.
Yeah, I'm a bit perplexed. I thought that at least there might have been, you know,
I thought they would
spike.
Right. There might be an attempt to slow it down. Doran just seems very intent on trying to get this top tier 1 turret. Yeah. So they've evened up the Infernal Dragons, but the problem with the Hanwha Life team composition still remains that they spike in mid-game, but the champions that they spike with are actually behind. And so we take a look at how this all transpires. Tempt able to lock up Chovy. SoHwan rotating down so not to have to use his teleport for the Infernal Dragon. And thus he was here when this trade took place.
And actually just rotated straight back up to the top lane, and as you can see, still has that teleport available. So it's even better for Hanwha Life's top laner that they have been playing through so far this game. Griffin still with a pretty decent lead, right? Sitting at 3.5k, but we were calling this game borderline over earlier on, and now Hanwha have found a few different options over and over again due to Bono being pretty diligent with his willingness to wait around for a gank opportunity. He's finally able to lock down a blue buff here for Tempt. Chovy dancing around this mid lane. Clears that one out, not able to quite get this outer turret just yet.
And right now, as we transition, Aurelia, she's still going to be ways away from the Trinity Force. Interestingly, lethality continues to be the itemization path for Doran, even though, as I mentioned in Champ Select, everyone's going to try to build Ninja Tab Eyes.
Yeah.
And probably even more armor. LeBlanc will likely end up eventually getting Zanya's.
Oh, the hook is going to land onto Tarzan. And he's just going to get taken down. That is why you can't be slinking through your jungle when you don't have control. Doran looking for this solo kill, though, against SoHwan. SoHwan could potentially turn this around. Remember, there's a hell of a lot of lifesteal with that World Ender, but he's not going to even try. And Doran may have turned this. SoHwan doesn't have any armor at all.
No, yeah.
And therefore, the double Dirk is doing really well. But yeah, I mean, the value of Black Cleaver is super high. Like, crazy high this game. Is Chovy, he's probably just going to die here, trying to turn it as Tempt gets thrown back. Lehends
1-for-1.
nails it in the 1-for-1 as Doran's going to come down. Bono's going to have to flash, and Griffin might be able to push this one even further. Keeping themselves in the lead still by about that 3,000 mark. But Griffin are certainly giving up far more this game than they did in game number 1.
Yeah, about 400% more.
Yeah.
No, 500.
In fact,
yeah.
infinity percent, because what's more than 0?
Ooh. See what you did there.
Yeah. Okay.
Well.
Sangyoon going to get interrupted. But yeah, 500% is probably the answer if you assume that Rift Herald counted as an objective.
It did.
Then that does help this particular point, making it 500% more objectives taken by Hanwha, or more things that they've got. Four of them being kills, one of them being a dragon.
The interesting thing here is, even though not a lot of stuff is happening, Griffin, very similar to game number 1, are still getting pretty sizable gold advantages across the map. Doran now shoving down mid lane. Ping goes down onto the Raptor camp. And Tarzan just continues to keep farming. He also looks like he's going to go for the Dust Blade. Yep. See a replay here. Pathing through his jungle, just ends up getting killed. Didn't have any vision of it. And Chovy just really wanted the turret, okay? You need to leave him alone.
Yep, sometimes you do want to just take turrets, right? As he did do a lot of damage to the Vanguard's edge combos, things like that. So Bono having a flash afterwards, Doran good positioning. Yeah, I see it. Probably wanted to have a stopwatch. Doesn't have one just yet. Key throwing lanterns around the enemy jungle. What? That was weird. How did he cancel that auto attack so late? It was very strange.
Well, Black Cleaver completed for SoHwan. Does have the Warhammer as well to boot with the Chain Vest.
I like the Chain Vest early, especially after 30% CDR. Means that SoHwan is going to be very difficult to kill for this Griffin composition.
Let's see what else ends up happening. As Duskblade, it's really close to being completed for both the Jace and the Kha'Zix.
Lehends is getting a lot of value out of this Hex Flash. Not sure whether it's actually really doing anything, as Viper on the bottom side of the map wants to get this minion wave towards the outer turret. Ping pong continues, as you would say. As Doran dodging out of the way of a lot of these Qs from SoHwan. Good news. Not that one, though. Thankfully.
Doran's actually behind in XP.
You'd expect so. I mean, SoHwan was actually performing quite well as far as the team fight. So 1-0-1 is on his scoreboard, and Doran sitting on 1 death. So you'd imagine that there has been a few extra things that have been around SoHwan and dying, offering him that extra experience that you see on your screen. Slight slowdown in the game that we've made it to right now.
Lull state, would you say?
Yeah,
is
something
unfolding?
like. I would assume. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. We can dub it that.
What is your favorite holiday?
My favorite holiday?
Yeah.
That's a good question. As in, like,
Like celebratory day.
Yeah, probably Christmas.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't like Halloween?
It's not a holiday.
Halloween's a holiday.
But it's not, though. You don't
I just clarified celebratory day.
Ah,
you know?
right.
Come on.
Yeah, but I'd also like a day off So Christmas, you get multiple days off. Even Boxing Day is a public holiday.
Ooh.
Nailed it.
Okay.
That's why Chuseok's so good here in Korea. Because
Chuseok
you get,
is
like,
coming up.
Yeah, it's about as soon
3
as
weeks
the
or something.
as soon as the playoffs and all of our matches are finished, that's when Chuseok kicks off here in Korea, and it's like a week long. It really goes for ages.
Yeah,
you get a lot of time.
A lot of places become like ghost towns.
Yep.
It's also impossible to travel.
It is
during that time.
Dude, so
I remember
the last one. I actually traveled home from where my girlfriend's parents live, and I chose to do that by bus at the very end of Chuseok, and it took me.
That was a mistake.
Oh my god, man! So the train ride there took an hour and a half.
Yeah.
The bus ride home took 9 hours. It was not good.
Man. Yeah, I took a bus to Incheon Airport once that was only supposed to take 2 hours, and it took 6.
Yeah.
So.
Wait, don't you live in Incheon?
No, well, yeah, but I've lived all over
Oh,
South
right,
Korea.
okay.
I've lived in Busan.
Oh, that's cool.
I've lived in the country, too. I've lived
wow.
in Cheongju.
That would have been fun.
Yeah.
I haven't done enough exploring outside of Seoul because there's just so much stuff in Seoul that I want to get that done first. You know, is Doran going to take a lot of damage there from Tempt? Tempt's getting to a point where he's starting to get scary. I think he's sock boots away from his first real item spike this game. I find it so weird that we're actually talking about Hanwha item spikes, because I thought this game was going to be just Dunzo, but the longer this game goes, this is a weird conversation about scaling, because you don't talk about LeBlanc as a scaling champion necessarily, and this composition has Jarvan as the front line, but like not exactly a front-to-back comp, right? But Griffin has not very much
they have no
damage change apart from physical. So the more of these chain vests Hanwha has, the more better they're going to be.
Yeah. Dead Man's Plate going to be the next item for Bono. That does not make a red buff. This is not TFT.
Not this time. Yeah, you need that balmy Cinder.
So.
Is Hanwha just going to start Baron?
Are they just going to do it? Is that what you're trying to imply? Because basically the current game state right now is that the Jace is going to continuously keep trying to push the side lanes. Duskblade of Drakthar almost completed for the Kazakhs. The fact that neither one of them, though, have opted into the Black Cleaver is a little bit disappointing. Especially because on the Kazakhs, you use the W with the height and CDR, the added durability, and it's so much better often.
Oh, yeah.
More often than not, than any of the lethality items.
Well, if Doran builds it now, that's 40% CDR from items, and seems pretty good. I'd like Mortal Reminder first, though.
Well, he probably has Transcendence, right? Or actually, they showed the runes at the very beginning, but I wasn't looking at that part.
Yeah, I believe, I mean, you'd take Transcendence, right, over whatever else is in that row.
Absolute Focus? It's not that bad.
Yeah, that's true. Likely that a champion that doesn't like the CDR a lot.
Well, we're going to decide the game in 30 seconds, okay?
Okay.
So just buckle up.
All right. 24-20? 24-20. Okay, got it.
Buckle.
I don't have... they removed the seatbelt.
All right, fine.
Sorry, man. I mean,
I'll
be careful.
Yeah.
I'll be careful. I'll be careful.
Lean in. Get ready. Get ready to play-by-play.
Okay, sorry. We really are reading off the script now. Sangyoon eats some honey fruit to get himself back up to full health. He's going to do so. Colonel Drake is going to pop. Okay, there's the flash play. Lehends. He's running for his life, is the volley bear. Wrong direction, but Griffin are going to be able to get position around this Infernal Drake. They are very split, as the bear makes his way back to the mid lane. Relatively long lane. That outer turret already down as Doran and Chovy find themselves in the wrong position. Stun onto SoHwan as Tarzan gets just destroyed by himself. The isolation normally something that you want as a Kazakhs, not this time, as Lehends doesn't find the Majestic Roar and instead is put into the Cataclysm. Chovy diving on forward. The Vanguard's edge is good. The Jace able to take down LeBlanc as Chovy still dancing around this one. Goes golden in time as Viper with the killer instinct. Sangyoon pops his stopwatch as well. And now Doran still alive, still fighting a dragon, is trying to do what he can, but it's all about Viper and what he can do this game. The two members of Griffin do scare away Hanwha Life.
All right, so this team fight started off 5 versus 4 for Hanwha Life. Tarzan was not there. And yet, the Aurelia, being the absolute savant that she is of a champion, able to just go straight into all of the members of Hanwha Life.
It looked like a whole lot of different 1 versus 5s that was happening for Griffin, and some of them worked.
Well,
but we did learn exactly why no one else plays Kha'Zix, because actually, when there is something with assassination potential,
not a good.
he just goes pop.
Not a very great champion. We'll take a look at it one more
Observe.
time.
Pop.
Tarzan, he does react to it a little bit slow, but I mean, there was really no getting out of this.
Ah, but the follow flash was good.
Yeah. Lehends
Don't break the chains, Tarzan.
going in. Now, he absorbs a lot of their spell usage. Chovy just goes in there, dealing absolutely bonkers amount of damage. Viper eventually gets into the backline, stopwatch cast by sangyoon, and he manages to flash away, which some might look at as a little bit of a blunder by Viper for not covering the angle.
Also
better
missing the
positioning.
Void Seeker, which could have been
Yeah.
good, but didn't have Killer Instinct, so if it didn't kill, then it's not going to do as much. But this is AP Kai'Sa, so that Void Spike, actually, sorry, Void Seeker doing a lot of damage.
Second Infernal, though, it went the way of Griffin. And we have yet to see Tarzan do anything yet on the Kha'Zix. Could have been any champion.
All right, we Hex Flashing, we getting in there. Lehends going to trade some positions here as Key's going to get Vanguard's edge. There's the flawless duet as sangyoon goes up into the air with the Featherstorm. That's going to save him for now. Blast Cone confirms it, but Tarzan, this time, discovers Bono isolated in the jungle and does what Kha'Zix does best.
And this should probably just be them turning on to the Baron at this point. The remaining members of Hanwha Life are the best champions to stop Baron.
But not contest it as far as the smite, because Bono is dead, there's no unsealed spellbooks, and they do a lot of damage. Griffin does a hell of a lot of damage,
yeah.
Especially now with Viper's National's Tooth completed. This is the time in the game where Griffin needed to get to in order to now have that damage range, because National's Tooth completion is what gives you magic damage in a team fight, basically, because you just don't have enough Void Seekers for that to be relevant magic damage.
We take a look at how this team fight transpires. Chovy able to zone out sangyoon and tempt. Tarzan taking care of Bono at the top. Conversion into the Baron.
Hanwha get their first turret of the series.
They do.
Congratulations, Hanwha. That's
You gonna
cool.
wish them well?
Yeah, you gotta take your victories, okay? Take your victories where you can get them.
Okay, well, Doran's gonna die.
Yeah, he's found 3 people. All right, flayed around, smacked around, and destroyed. So I'm going to fall on top of him there. And 1 versus 3, when you had no idea what was going on, I'd say that's an unfair fight, but certainly well orchestrated by Hanwha. Chovy's got 3 items though, and he's a big deal.
All right, Chovy just free reign over the top lane. 7,000 gold advantage with 1 Infernal Drake over the opponent is the current advantage for Griffin. Open Dragon coming up in a minute and a half.
But
And
Griffin needs to
you know
use
what?
this Baron,
There's
right?
no greater eulogy here for LeBlanc than the Morellonomicon.
Oh, God.
She'll read her own last rites for building that item, I'll tell you that much. There's no champion you need to prevent healing from.
Volley Bear passive.
Oh, yes.
Obviously.
That's why the
plus,
Morello.
Plus, Chovy,
Nice.
Conqueror, okay? Aurelia has a lot of self-healing, okay? Potions.
I'm done.
Yeah, no, it's not a great choice this game. But do you know this is the better thing that we've got to actually be paying attention to. Doran completed his Edge of Night. Now he has to not build Dirk items because there's no more left. And see that Kindle
You know
gem?
what?
Tarzan's building towards a Black Cleaver. We're getting there.
Oh, okay. I like that.
Yeah.
What if he just builds another Dirk?
Yeah, he probably will do that.
You probably never thought about that, did you?
I did because I watched Deft build an extra Dirk after those 3 items yesterday on the Varus. Lehends just going to be yelling a little bit here as SoHwan is dead. I mean, he's old Aatrox attempting to revive there as he tries to click on the lantern but can't. It was in a weird spot, I guess. Killer Instinct flies forward and Viper is going to be able to lock down the kill. Took a while to secure, but my God, Bono tries to put them in the Cataclysm and then move on, but he's not able to. Chovy going to whiff the ultimate, but still pick up the kills. sangyoon now, not enough Feather Storms for this Xayah, and that could just be the end of the game. Griffin are going to 2-0 Hanwha Life. They're going to be first place in the regular season every season for 2019 and for the first time qualify for the World Championship.
Griffin's going to Worlds.
It's happened, and what a way to do it as well. They absolutely obliterate Hanwha Life.
I feel very excited about this.
Me too.
Griffin, they're a team I really feel like deserved to be at Worlds last year. They weren't there.
Yeah, and they, in theory, you know, people were talking about, especially Damwon Gaming and Griffin, during the scrims before MSI. They were saying these teams are really good. They're beating everyone. Why aren't they there? Blah 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 blah. These are going to be teams that people are going to have to watch out for. Well, we've got one of them. It'll be Damwon in second place. Unfortunately, the biggest fans of Hanwha Life tonight are not going to get their wish, and it means Hanwha will be in the promotion tournament alongside Jinner. KT Rolster are safe for another year, which means that likely Score is going to finish the year on 420 wins, which is pretty cool.
That's an iconic.
Yeah.
That's
a good one.
All right, well. That means Papa Smithy got to cast scores last. I was supposed to be here.
I know, but you gave Papa the honor.
I gave him the honor.
Yeah.
Also gave him the honor of yesterday.
Of casting one of the, he was the last of the old guard of the LCK. He has finally moved on. One of the OGs. It was all a part of the very beginning.
You know.
Yeah, I'm glad you held on to that script information until now. As our man Griffin looked super good in this series. I loved the Mordekaiser. I didn't like the Kazakhs all that much, but it didn't seem to matter.
The thing I like a lot about them going to Worlds and having integrated Doron to their roster when they did is it means that whatever Riot might throw their way in terms of balanced decisions for the World patch, they might have it covered at least from the top lane angle.
Yeah, they're going to be okay. And I mean, that was where they had the least flexibility, right?
Right, and that's what I'm referring to there, where top was the one that was the most vulnerable. Chovy can play everything. Tarzan can play everything. Viper, Lehends, they can play everything.
They try to play everything even when they're not supposed to.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and they can win games where every flash cocoon is a miss. Yeah. So, I mean, that's absolutely fine. I think you're exactly right, and I really like...
I'll see you at the World Cup.
Well, they certainly are. And that looked like it was drawn earlier, so that is a fan with faith. As the Griffin faithful certainly are going to...
Championship go,
yep,
World
they're
Cup
gonna get there.
go.
Yeah, so I was doing my very best to read, so I got a little bit distracted there. It's getting a little bit late, but that is going to be the last day. LS, we did it, we made it. And now it's playoff time, and we get to watch a Freak of Freaks attempt to run the gauntlet. Who is it going to be? I mean... We don't have Gen G in any of our gauntlets.
Are you ready for the World?
So who's running?
Korean representatives for Worlds.
Am I ready? Who are they? Oh God! Don't read it. Don't just read that out.
What?
I mean, I know the first one. That's Griffin. They've done it.
It's SKT, Damwon, and Griffin.
If that was the case, I'd be pretty happy about that representation.
Script doesn't lie, Atlas.
Well, I mean, seems good to me. I mean, they are, in theory, our top 3 teams, although we're going to have to watch SKT make their run all the way through the gauntlet. Certainly fantastic. Maybe this is what Riot Korea has actually done. They're like, oh, we want FLICKR in as many of our playoff matches as possible.
SKT is they're gonna do Griffin dirty one more time.
Oh, really?
They're gonna run through, yeah.
Are they gonna 3-0 them in the final?
Yeah, because they're gonna run through. And do it one more time. Ooh. And then Daft Punk's going to play.
Oh, no. Which song? Which song?
One more time.
Well, oh, yeah. Oh, God.
Yeah.
Sorry, I sort of walked into that one as well.
Yeah,
I've been listening to a lot of Random Access Memories at the moment. That song is not on that album.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of that album. It's
Instant Crush?
Yeah, Instant Crush is a good one.
That one's really good. Lyrics are very sad. Sort of like how Sangyoon and Key were.
This was pretty sad, too. Yeah. Good segue, LS.
Thank you. I completely unintentional. I'm really going to hand it over.
Yep. Chovy could not have played this better, by the way. Making sure there's always a minion in the way so he can never get chained, and then landing the flawless duo onto 2 people.
Had he clicked in a little bit, maybe his Q could have gone off a little bit sooner. So you said he couldn't have played it better, but I outlined how. No? It's alright. It's alright. Coach.
Is it? Is it all?
No, it's gonna be perfectly fine.
I think Chovy could have played this one maybe a little bit better.
Chovy could have played this one a little bit better for sure.
I mean, there are a lot of bad guys.
Yeah.
There are a lot of bad guys.
A lot of villains inside of this game. I don't know why Tarzan was pathing this way to the blue. When you have no priority and vision, it was a little bit surprising here. By the way, I actually just want to point out, Kha'Zix was a absolute non-factor in this game, yet again.
Precisely, yeah.
Yet again.
He's 2-0 on a champion that did nothing, really. He killed Bono once, I think.
Maybe Kha'Zix is just his favorite champion?
Maybe just likes it, yeah.
Is that what it is? Do we get a...
Maybe it's an homage to Score, because Kha'Zix was, I believe, his most played champion.
Ooh.
In LCK.
Okay.
Trying to get my Pub Smithy facts from last night in order. Because we now have confirmation that we're not going to see Score again for the 2019 season. And he has been vocal about retirement after that, so... Sad confirmation. But the new guard have been stepping up. Griffin, Damwon, Sandbox.
There is a lot of very new and young players, a lot of them on Africa.
Yeah.
And so LCK is very healthy. A lot of people, they'll look at Challengers as well and think that, well, there's not any new teams coming up from Challengers. Jin Air probably still going to be here in 2020.
Yep.
I know a lot of people hold that opinion. But what they don't realize is that there is a lot of Korean pro players, second league and third league teams that are on LCK teams. We just never see them or hear about them. But there are dozens and dozens of Korean players who just, they're not on Challenger CK teams, but they are on LCK teams. You just don't know about them.
And they're waiting to,
they're
waiting in the back.
Korea is still very, very healthy in terms of talent pool. We just don't get to see it.
And also, we can't show it to people,
We
otherwise
can't,
the rest of the world steals them from us.
There it
so
is.
we got to make sure
We're all
we're very
locked up
secretive.
by LCK teams.
Yeah, you got the SKT sort of training base.
I think one team has 17 players.
Whoa, that's a lot.
That is a
That sounds like something a FLICKR would do.
I think NALCS teams have a big roster. 17.
Well, that's a lot of people. But of course, not all of them can be signed at the same time, so it's just what you do to try and make sure that you have as much talent moving forward as possible. And this gentleman was certainly talented. Lehends on the volley bear is going to pick up the MVP, and I gave it to him basically just for this moment. He flashed in and yelled at people.
All right.
He's just a really angry, lumbering bear. Look at him go.
Do you like this volley bear skin?
I love it. You know, that's my Yorick Burnison skin. You know, that's the Golden Compass skin. Big fan. I think that's it. It's been a while since
He drew a lot of aggro. Even Tempt.
Yeah, well, when he went on his
really
adventure as well, like I think this was post-adventure, that particular highlight, as you just saw. So, man, not a lot of complaints with the Griffin play that we saw here today, but it's going to be, once again, a couple of weeks, and then we're going to see Griffin play in the final. Once again, we don't have them running any part of the gauntlet because they're too good at regular season, and now we're going to have to listen to them as the MVP interview his opponents. Here's Jason.
Thank you very much, guys. This is Jason with the interview translation, and we'll be hearing from SoHwan and Lehends from Griffin, picking up 2-2 victory today. We made it to the finals, and we also qualified to Worlds, so it feels really nice.
네, 지난 인터뷰에서 막 몸이 떨린다 인터뷰.
The last interview you said you're really nervous and shaking. How about today? It's the same.
알겠습니다. 몸을 딱 잡고 인터뷰 해주시면 감사하겠습니다. 자 그리고 리엔즈 선수
And
오늘
Lehends.
그리핀이 정말 안정적이고
Griffin
압도적으로
was really
대체적으로
stable,
그런 느낌으로
consistent,
풀어냈어요.
and very
연습
dominant.
과정이 어땠는지
How did the
궁금해요.
preparation go?
연습에서는
During the
최대한
practice,
안 좋은 무빙 같은 거
we were doing our best to get rid of all of our mistakes or bad moves, and today we were able to get this good
그리핀만의
result.
스타일로 1, 2세트 모두 승리로 가져왔습니다. 도란 선수 먼저 1세트
So
얘기해보면
Doran, going back to game number 1, you are picking up 2 MVPs in a row on Mordekaiser.
어떤 면에서
So,
차이를 많이 벌렸다고
What was the
생각하시나요?
biggest strengths did you have in today's matchup against the top laner in Hanwha?
시간 갈수록
Well, I was having a good matchup, so I was actually in ahead, and naturally I was able to keep scaling according to the timeline.
차가 벌어진 상황에서 마지막 끝날 각을 그리핀이
So we
봤는데요.
have this highlight
화면으로
right
다시
here. So
만나볼게요.
let's check out the moment that Griffin was able
이때
to
싸움
close out
구도는
the
어떻게
game.
잡으셨는지 들어볼게요.
이때 제가 너무
So over here, I was really fed and scaled. So if I just go use my ultimate with any one of the opponents, well, I knew that I would be able to take one down, and I can then support all the rest of my teammates. So you are going in first. We all made call before that play, so that was all planned, and I was really playing aggressively based on the calls we made.
리엔즈 선수의 볼리베어가 등장을 했는데 요즘 좀 선호하는
So
픽인 듯해요.
Volibear, it's one of your
지난
new friends,
인터뷰에서
Lehends.
바이퍼 선수가
And
이제
in the previous
볼리베어
interview,
꽤
Viper
하는 것 같다,
said
이제
that you are
이런 얘기를
quite
하기도
good at
했는데
Volibear
본인
now.
스스로 플레이 어떻게
So how was your
평가하시나요?
performance
저도
today?
바이퍼 선수 말에 동의합니다.
I agree
제가
with
볼리베어를 좀
Viper.
잘해줬는데
Well, my
바이퍼 선수
Volibear
사이즈는
got
아직
better,
좀 더
but
열심히
his Kaisa is not good enough.
연습을 해야겠다는
So I
생각이
think he
들고요.
needs to
저는
work
조금
on it.
잘해줬지만
Mine has gotten better, but
열심히
Viper, I
해야겠어요.
think he needs to practice
이에
more.
대한 대답은 들어볼 수 없는 게
Sadly, we don't have Viper to answer that, so thank you for your kind word, Lehends, and also I want to talk about Yumi versus Volibear in bot lane because we are seeing this matchup often. So any thoughts on that?
개인적으로는
Well,
저는
personally,
둘다 자신 있기
I'm
때문에
confident with both champions.
구도를 하든
So it doesn't really
사람하니까
matter whether I'm on the Volibear side or Yumi side.
알겠습니다. 자 그리고 이 세트에서 타잔
And also
선수의
in game
카직스가
two,
등장을 했는데요.
Tarzan played
아까
Kha'Zix.
여쭤보니까 그냥 본인이 원해서 했다고
And
말씀을
he
해주셨고요.
said that he just wanted to play it.
지난번에
And in the
아,
previous
카본이었다라고
interview, he
얘기할
said my
정도로
Kha'Zix was a little bit silly.
팀원들에게 고맙다고 했는데
And he said
오늘
thank you to the
타잔 선수의
teammates
카직스는 어땠나요?
for carrying the game. So how about his
제가 말은 안
performance
했지만
today?
타잔 선수가 똥잭스라고
Well, that's not my word. Tarzan actually called it.
그러더라고요.
poop
인디언식
chicks.
기우제처럼 계속 그렇게 잘하고
So
싶다는
I
느낌인
guess,
것 같은데
well,
잘
he
모르겠어요.
just want to keep improving. So I'm
언젠가는
not sure about it
또
yet.
카직스로 캐리하는 장면도 기대해 보도록 하겠습니다. 자, 이 세트 경기 초반에 바텀에서
So in the
기본적인
early
킬을
phase,
가져갔었죠.
well,
네,
the
상황
bot
보도록
laners pick
하겠습니다.
up double kills. So let's check out this replay.
자, 정말 초반 갱 깔끔하게 들어갔는데 설계는 어떻게 하셨나요?
So how did you calculate
볼리베어
that?
카이사가 이래
Well, Volibear Kaisa, this composition is really strong in level 2.
마침 바이퍼 선수도 잘
Well,
처리돼서
We made great calls. We were using very coordinated, so we were able to get the
그래도
kill.
열심히 연습을 더 해야
Well, his Kaisa was not bad
네, 이렇게
there,
바텀
but
듀오의
he
좋은
still
활약을
needs to
통해서
practice
이 세트
more.
가져갔습니다. 중간에 조금 힘든 부분이 있었지만 다시
Well,
그리핀이
the game
완벽하게
was going
풀어내면서
quite back
이렇게
and forth, but
결승
Griffin
직행
was able to close out the
승리로
game.
이뤄냈습니다. 자, 도란 선수가 요즘에
So Doran,
정말 큰 힘을 주고 있는데요.
you're
이번
being a
결승전
really big
결과에 따라서
power adding to
우열로도
Griffin,
가능한
and
상황입니다.
this will be your way to walk down the royal road. These finals. Yes, I'm excited.
네, 도란 선수 많이 떨리지만
I can see you're
결승전에서도 좋은
super
모습
nervous,
보여주시길
but I will be
바라겠고요.
looking forward to
리엔즈
seeing you at
선수가
finals.
좀 형의 입장에서
And Lehends,
우승
as
선수를
a
쉽지 않을까
older
그런 생각해요.
players in
각오
the
한번
team.
들어볼게요.
Any message for the team or Doran?
굉장히
Doran,
잘했으면 좋겠습니다.
I hope he does well.
리엔즈 선수는요?
What about you?
저는 항상
I'm
잘하고
always doing well.
알겠습니다. 그리핀
So
선수도 뭐
yeah.
언제나 잘하는 모습 보여주니까요. 그리고 이제
In addition,
월드컵
Griffin
티켓까지
finally
왔습니다.
got the
정말
world
많이 기다리셨을
seed.
것 같아요.
A lot of fans have been waiting for this, and also players.
팀원들이 가장 손꼽아 기다리고
This is
바랐던
the
부분 중에
biggest dream
하나이지
that the
않을까
team
하는데
has
롤드컵
been
좀
dreaming
아직
for.
남기는 했지만
Well,
이때
we still got a
얘기까지
long
들어볼까요?
time for Worlds, but any comment about this?
일단은 롤드컵의 확정에 대해서
I'm really
너무 기분 좋고요.
happy that we walked in to Worlds, but we were kinda underperforming in big tournaments. So we're just gonna do our best in playoffs and also in Worlds
네,
as well.
팬분들께 아주 멋진 각오 들려주셨습니다. 도란 선수도
Doran,
마지막으로
would you like to add on to
마지막
that,
경기
or
팬분들께 한 말씀
any
부탁드릴게요.
message for the fans?
2세트 때
Well, in game 2,
안 좋은 모습이 있었는데
I was not doing a great job, but
해도 되는 건가 싶긴 한데
so I'm not really sure I deserve to have this
어,
interview.
좀 다음번에 더 잘해서
But I will
좋은 모습
show better
보여드리겠습니다.
performance next time.
감사합니다.
Thank you.
네, 도란 선수 정말 좋은 모습 보여주셨고요. 아쉬운 점은 또 앞으로 풀어나가면
Well,
되니까요.
we
계속
still got time to
응원하도록
improve
하겠습니다.
and get rid of the
이은주 선수도
mistakes.
멋진
So,
활약
but we
감사합니다. 여러분,
wish
다시
you the
한번
best of
큰
luck.
박수
And this will be the end of the interview with Lehends from Griffin,
정규
picking up
스플릿
2-0 victory up against Hanwha Esports. And I'm going to pass it back to our casters. Thank
네, 도란
you.
선수, 리엔즈
Thank you
선수
so much,
함께했습니다.
Ji-sun, and congratulations to our Griffin players for qualifying for Worlds, for being first place once again. The entirety of 2019 has been Griffin in first place of the regular season, despite what happened in last year's finals. That is pretty incredible for a team only playing their third split.
Yeah, it really is. And I mean, Griffin, it's going to be exciting to see them on the world stage.
Yeah, and I think
what they're going to end up doing as well.
And there's a lot of people that have a lot of inner turmoil about this because Griffin have been dubbed chokers in a lot of ways, right? But I have to remember that this team is very young, was very young when they were first qualifying. And these sort of moments do build you up. And the thing is, in 2018, in that final against KT, where Score finally managed to get his championship, that was a 5-game series. That was a nail-biter. In Summer, Griffin and Summer feels like a better match than Griffin in Spring, as they have guaranteed the finals in first place. SoHwan will be waiting for one of either a FLICKR and SKT, whoever's going to win the wild card, and then they take on Sandbox, who will then take on SoHwan Gaming. The gauntlet is going to be a really exciting one.
The gauntlet's going to be tough. It really is. But, as I already revealed to you,
yeah, you already know. I get it.
That's
The only
Telecom.
difference between this particular gauntlet and last year's is Kingzone being absent. And so this is going to be that gauntlet run that we're talking about. SKT versus a FLICKR. SKT, as LS mentioned, is in theory going to run the entire gauntlet and face Griffin again. That would be the anime storyline, I think.
Is this our last cast?
No. No. We're casting playoffs together, mate. It's going to be fine.
I only get... All right. You know what?
And then
I was about to have a mini heart attack.
I know. And then we've got the Worlds qualifier. And then don't worry. We've got the promotion tournament.
Oh, that's right. The promotion.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So don't you
No heart
worry.
attack.
Don't you worry. No need for a heart attack. And also, there's going to be plenty of us coming up in the coming weeks because we've got a lot of playoffs to do. It's almost like you get back-to-back playoffs because then 4 teams have to play for that final seed into the play-ins of Worlds as well. So there's a lot of LCK action to come after this, even though it is now time to say goodbye to the regular season of 2019, be it summer or spring. We are done. It's a lot of games that we got through, and I'm just so happy that it meant so much up until the last match. The fact that we've now qualified Griffin into that first place, the fact that KT are now safe and can start rebuilding knowing that they have retained their spot in the LCK. There are just lots of things that we had to learn right up until the very end, and it's been an absolute joy.
Yeah, it really has, and I'm looking forward to seeing what are the other teams going to be that end up attending Worlds.
Yep, and goodbye, Score. We will see you on Wednesday for that wildcard match of FLICKR versus SKT. Until then, good night.
You take me higher when I feel low, make my world brighter when I'm alone. I keep on rolling, all with your fuel. You're like my gasoline that makes my dream come true. 'Cause this is the beginning. Together we'll be winning. With you I'm a savage. Make my song sing. 'Cause with you I'm feeling alive. You taught me loving without a breath. You're all I need. I'm feeling
혼란, 카오스, 역대급 혼전이라고 읽을 수 있을 만한 상황. 역대급 암호를 찍다. 역대급 시즌입니다. 역대 원탑 SK 이런 적이 있었나요? 혼전 이리가 맨날 바뀌어요, 맨날. 아 정말 역대급 SK예요. 멜레버버.
This place won't grind me